Tim Lake starts to describe his mother and his family. He was always too tall, too thin, and too orange. His mother was usually unsentimental. His father, James, was a former university professor who now enjoys his free time reading and playing table tennis. His uncle Desmond was a bit odd and presumably has Alzheimer's. And his sister Catherine, named Kit Kat, was free-spirited. The family has spent many joyful occasions together on the beach and at home in Cornwall, England, as Tim recalls. Tim's parents host a New Year's Eve party, which Tim is none too fond of attending. Kit Kat hooks up with a guy named Jimmy Kincaid, while a pretty young blonde woman shows interest in Tim. When everybody counts down to midnight, the woman leans in to kiss Tim, but he instead shakes her hand. The woman is visibly disappointed. The next morning, Tim meets with his father in the family's den. James informs him of a big family secret that his father shared with him when he turned 21. Apparently, the men in the family have the ability to travel through time. Tim is dumbfounded and doubts what his father just told him, but he asks how this task is accomplished. James tells him to go into a dark place, close his eyes, clench his fists tight, and think of the exact moment he wants to go to, and he will find himself there. Of course, he adds, there are limits to this time traveling, as he can only go to moments in his own life, as he cannot kill Hitler or shag Helen or Troy. Tim goes into the wardrobe of his bedroom to make an attempt. He does what James told him, and he suddenly hears the Killer's song, Mr. Brightside, playing loudly as he is stunned to see he is wearing the same outfit he wore at the New Year's Eve party. He avoids bumping into the table, and when the countdown hits to midnight, he grabs the blonde woman and kisses her, much to her satisfaction. Tim returns to the present to express his astonishment to his father. He asks Tim what he plans on using this ability for, and he answers that he'd really like to use it to get a girlfriend. Summertime rolls around, and Kit Kat's girlfriend Charlotte stays with the family, and Tim is instantly smitten with her. On the eve of Charlotte's last day with the family, Tim goes into her room to ask a question. Before he says anything, she says he had better not ask any questions about love, as Kit Kat had said he may have, but that's exactly what he was going to ask. Although Charlotte finds him sweet, she tells him he shouldn't have waited till her last night to make a move, and that he should have said earlier. This leads him to walk into the closet next to her room and go back a month, midway through her stay, to make his move. Charlotte is more interested, but then she says they should wait until her last night to see how she feels. Tim eventually realizes that no matter how much he travels back in time, he cannot make Charlotte fall in love with him, leaving him with a broken heart. As the summer ends, Tim moves to London to pursue a career as a lawyer. He moves in with a family friend named Harry Chapman, a grouchy playwright. He then starts work at a law firm and makes friends with a young man named Rory. One evening, Jay takes Tim to a restaurant where they are paired up with blind dates in a dark room. Tim spends the night talking to an American accented girl named Mary, while Jay is out with her friend Joanna. Tim and Mary hit it off while Joanna hardly shows any interest in Jay. The guys meet the girls outside and Tim is enchanted by Mary's beauty, even though she doesn't see herself as being particularly attractive. Tim says he admires her dress and her fringe hairstyle. Before she and Joanna leave, Tim manages to get Mary's phone number. Tim returns home to find Harry bitter over a failed performance at his play where one of his actors forgot his lines on stage. This inspires Tim to start the night over so he can join Harry at the play to change his mood. Tim goes to the dressing room of one of the main actors to encourage him to give the script another look over. The actor rudely tells Tim off, but does read through the script again. Tim and Harry watch the play and the actor delivers his lines spot on, to which the audience applauds. Unfortunately, as it turns out, it is another actor who completely freezes on stage. Tim leaves to go back in time and go backstage to hold up cue cards for the actor to look at, which allows him to recite his line perfectly and also receive applause. After the show, Tim goes to call Mary only to see her number isn't listed in his phone. He rushes to the restaurant where they had met and is told by the host that Mary and Joanna had already left, and since they paid in cash, he couldn't give Tim any more information. Harry reads the paper the next morning to find glowing reviews for his play. Though what catches Tim's eye is an ad featuring Kate Moss, since he and Mary chatted about her when they first met. This leads him to go to a museum featuring an exhibit with Kate Moss pictures, hoping to find Mary there. He goes for days upon days with no luck until Kit Kat comes by to help him out. Finally, Mary strolls by, and Tim seizes the opportunity to talk to her. He tells her that it's good to see her, but she tells him that they've never met. He tells her he knows her name is Mary, but it only makes her a bit more uncomfortable. He leaves rather embarrassed, but Kit Kat convinces him to go back. Tim convinces Mary to let him tag along, as long as he convinces her that he's not a lunatic or an odd fringe fetishist. He joins them for lunch and learns that Mary has a boyfriend. Said boyfriend, Rupert, arrives to join the girls. Tim asks pressing questions about how they met and where, which just so happens to be at a party Joanna threw the previous week at her flat. She even gives Tim the specific address to the place, which is enough information for Tim to run into the men's restroom and time travel once again. Tim runs to Joanna's party in time to find Mary sitting by herself near the window. He starts to chat her up, first coming off a bit awkward, but then convinces her to leave the party so that they can have dinner together, thus allowing Mary to have never met Rupert. On their date, Tim learns that Mary works for a book publisher, and they have another chat about Kate Moss. After dinner, Tim walks Mary home and they kiss for the very first time. She invites him inside for sex, but doesn't go smoothly the first time. Tim goes back in time to try again, which turns out a bit better, but he decides to try once more, being a bit more assertive and leaving both himself and Mary very satisfied. Tim and Mary have officially begun dating, going through many months together. One evening, Tim and Rory go to watch a play, and Tim notices that Charlotte is there with her friend Tina. After the play, Tim goes to say hello to Charlotte, but she introduces Tina as her girlfriend. This gives Tim the wrong idea that she rejected him because he believes she was a lesbian, though she says that's not the kind of girlfriend she meant. He goes back in time to undo this, though he still makes a blunder remark about misusing girlfriend to make someone think she's gay, which turns out that Tina really is gay, but that she's not Charlotte's lover. Tim goes back once more a third time to try to correct this, but instead he doesn't approach Charlotte. The two then have dinner and go back to her place. Charlotte begins to invite him in, but Tim sees where this is going and tells her that there's something he needs to do. Tim runs back to his apartment to find Mary sleeping. He then wakes her up to propose to her, though she's a bit too tired to realize what's going on. She says yes, and thanks him for not doing a big public proposal. Tim and Mary visit Tim's family to give them the news. He finds Kit Kat, who tells him she's been let go from another job. Over dinner, Tim announces to the family that he and Mary are going to get married, and they are planning on doing it soon as they are going to have a baby. The family is overjoyed with this news. The day of the wedding arrives. Even though it starts off pouring rain, everything turns out fun and enjoyable for the couple. During the reception, where Rory is the best man, he starts to give a bit of an awkward speech, leading Tim to time travel and pick Harry as his best man. Harry starts making rude comments towards Tim, which makes him go back again to pick Jay. This is just as bad as Jay starts making crude sexual references, causing Tim to ultimately choose his dad as the best man. Not long after, Mary gives birth to her and Tim's first child, a girl that they name Posey. A year later on Posey's first birthday, there's a knock at the door, but it turns out to be Jimmy Kincaid. Tim asks about Kit Kat and Jimmy says that he got into a fight with her. Tim and Mary rush to the hospital where they find out that Kit Kat was in a car accident due to her drunk driving. Tim time travels to pick up Kit Kat himself, not allowing her to drive drunk. He takes her for a walk on the beach to confront her over her problems with Jimmy. He then admits his secret to her and brings Kit Kat into the closet to time travel back to her to the New Year's Eve party, the party where she first met Jimmy. Tim holds Kit Kat away from her walking to Jimmy, and they see him approach another girl. Kit Kat realizes what a jerk Jimmy is, and she goes over to him to punch him square in the face. Tim takes Kit Kat back to the present and her memory has been altered, so she tells Tim that she is now with Jay. Tim is pleased to see that Kit Kat is happier with Jay, and he goes back home. When he goes to play with Posey, though, he is shocked to see that his daughter is now a boy. Tim time travels back to the day of the child's birth to meet his father. James tells his son that because the child was born in between the time traveling Tim did with Kit Kat, he altered the timeline so that he instead had a son. Tim realizes he must undo Kit Kat's new timeline so that Posey is born. Kit Kat still suffers the car accident, but Tim and Mary stay by her bedside until she vows to break up with Jimmy and maintain her job. Before he leaves, Tim tells Kit Kat that Jay has always had a crush on her and that she should talk to him. Sure enough, Posey is still there, and Tim begins to play with his daughter. He tells Mary he wants another child, though Mary doesn't want to go through the process again. Despite this disagreement, they eventually have another baby, this time a boy named Jeff. One evening, Tim and Mary are going to have dinner with Mary's publisher. She asks him where Posey is, and he tells her that he left her downstairs. Unfortunately, he left her with the publisher's manuscript, which Posey is covered over in crayon and put through the paper shredder. Mary is furious, and as Tim tries to walk out so he can undo this mistake via time travel, Mary does not let him leave. The phone then rings, and she answers angrily, then apologizes when she finds out that it's Tim's mother. She passes the phone to him, and Tim's face becomes worried as she speaks. Tim and Mary decide to go back with Kit Kat to the family home in Cornwall. Kit Kat runs inside, tearfully, while Tim asks his mother how she is. She responds, "I am absolutely uninterested in a life without your father." Uncle Desmond breaks the news to Tim that James has lung cancer. Tim meets with his father and learns that he merely has weeks left. He admits that he's been time traveling a lot to give himself more time to spend with his family and to read a lot of books. He then tells Tim that he has another secret to tell him. Tim begins to narrate that his father gave him a two-part plan to enjoy his life. The first part is to go through any day as it would normally play out. We see Tim going to work, watching Rory get chastised by their boss, going to get lunch, go into a courtroom case with Rory that turns out to be successful, living the day with the stresses that he ought to face. The second part is to go back in time and relive the day again while embracing it for what it is. He relives that day with a more upbeat feel, allowing Rory to even enjoy the day. The day has come for James' funeral. While everybody is getting ready, Tim time travels to a moment with his father, letting him know that he is arriving from the funeral. He sits down with James to listen to him read a passage from a Charles Dickens novel. Sometime after the funeral, Mary tells Tim that she wants a third child, this one being the insurance baby. Over the following 9 months, as Mary is pregnant with their third child, Tim time travels to his father on a daily basis. On the 9th month, as Mary is nearly ready to deliver, Tim visits his father one last time. They play table tennis, and James asks what his reward should be. Tim says it would be a kiss, and from the look on his face, Jim is able to determine what this means. Tim goes over to give his father a kiss, and then the two go into a dark place to time travel to a day when Tim was a child. He and his father spend the day together at the beach. Tim and Mary's third child is born, a girl named Jo. Kit Kat and Jay have also gotten married and have a child of their own. By this time, Tim has decided that he may now live his life without time travel, as it is the perfect way it is. He kisses Mary as she lays in bed while he goes to take the children, now slightly older, off to school. If you like this video and want to see more, click subscribe. To be notified when we post other videos, click the notification bell. Also, be sure to like the video and leave a comment down below letting us know what you thought about the movie. And as always, thanks for watching.